Email us or connect with us on social media.
Now you can enjoy the Amazon Prime Video app on Ignite TV. Just say Amazon Prime Video into your Ignite voice remote and watch Amazon originals like The Expanse.
They want her to fight. We'll give her one.
The Wilds.
Are we in the actual Bermuda Triangle?
And The Boys.
That is amazing.
Prime members can stream Amazon originals, movies, TV shows, and more on Ignite TV today. Now you're in command.
This is Rogers TV, Grey County.
Hello and welcome to the Rogers TV COVID-19 show. I'm Carol Merton, and before I welcome my guest today, I'd like to share some thoughts with you. For those of you who watch the program regularly, you know that I do try and give you an update on COVID-19 in our area and again share some thoughts. So there is good news regarding the decline in the number of new cases of COVID-19 in Grey Bruce, although the numbers do fluctuate from day to day. The Public Health Unit could not have done this without the help of the community, and they need us to continue to keep up the good work. It has been difficult during this lockdown, and we've just heard that it's now being extended to June 2nd. We can all agree that we want to have this lockdown be the very last one we will have to go through. We are looking forward to the lifting of the restrictions, but in the meantime, the provincial stay-at-home order is critical. Please don't go out unless it's for absolutely essential travel needs. If you have any possible COVID-19 symptoms, go to the assessment centers for testing. Be open and transparent about the people that you may have been in contact with. This might actually save their life and those of others. The Grey Bruce Health Unit states that it is critical and crucial for all of us to continue to practice the 3 W's: wash your hands, watch your distance, and wear a mask. This is important over the next few weeks until the vaccine rollout is completed, and we all hope that will be done during this summer. The journey has been long, and we are all very, very wary. The sacrifices we continue to make each and every day will bring all of us closer to the finish line. Let's make this difference together. Thank you to all of you in our community who are working hard to bring an end to COVID-19. And on that note, I want to thank my guest who's appearing today, who is going to be telling us all about the Bruce County Museum and Cultural Center. So I'm pleased to welcome Maria Canton. Maria, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you so much. I'm thrilled to be here. It's a real pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you. So I know you've got lots of information to share about the museum. I went online as well to pull up some information, so I was current, and I'm really interested in some of the programs you're running. Tell me how the museum has coped with COVID-19. What have you had to do as a result?
Yeah, so we've, like everybody, we've had to adjust and reimagine pretty much all aspects of our business, all of our programming and events, our visits, what a museum visit looks like now. I will mention right off the top that our archives department remains open virtually. You can't come to the archives, but we are open for research inquiries. You can email them, you can call them. They can help guide you with your research, and we do offer paid research services as well, because what better time to dig into your research project than during a global pandemic. So our archive staff is still on the job, and they're happy to help anybody who is working on projects. So we do have that available. And the other thing, just I will go into what we have coming up, but the other thing we're doing is a project called Chronicling COVID. And we started it near the beginning of the pandemic, so last spring, a year ago. And what we're doing is we're asking people to submit to the museum their experiences during the pandemic. So photos, journal entries, written accounts, audio, video. So we have a historical record of what happened during the pandemic in our area, in our region, and we have that account. So we're collecting history as we're living through it, so we are doing those two things as well.
What a great project. I mean, we don't think that we are living in a historical moment. And so when you collect all of this, what will be the plan, or have you gotten that far? Will you create a book? Will you do a video? What will you do?
I'm not sure if the end result will be something along those lines, or if it'll be just ensuring that we have record of it in the archives. So if somebody 50 years from now wants to know what it was like or what happened during the pandemic in Bruce County, you can actually look it up. So it will be part of the historical record. I feel like it might be a bit too soon to think that we would produce a book, and just because we're still going through it and we don't really know what the end looks like. I mean, we have an idea now, thankfully, but more of it is to ensure that we are keeping track of it and that we are recording history as it happens.
Yeah, excellent. So there are staff then who are currently in the museum, but visitors, of course, not.
Yeah, so we do have some staff in the building. Visitors, we're closed, of course, and we do offer a lot of online and digital services. So one thing we did right away is we used to have a lot of, and we will again, hopefully, offer a lot of field trips to schools in the area. And they would come to the museum and they would be a pioneer for the day, and they would have a pioneer's lunch, or they would have medieval day or ancient civilization and dress up in ancient war gear. Or we would take our programmer would go into schools and offer those programs. So field trips were a really big part of the programming we offered to young people in the area. As soon as we realized that we were kind of in this for a long haul, we started working on what we call our digital education center. So on our website, you can go to our education center, and we offer almost all of our field trips now online in a digital format. So there's resources that you can download and activities that you can do at home or in the classroom. We have like an Earth Week field trip, a Pioneer for a Day field trip, a Marine field trip, a Treaties Week. We have all of our field trips on there. And you don't have to be a teacher to access these resources. If you're at home with your kids and you're looking for something different to do, but still educational, absolutely, they're available to everybody. So one thing we started doing right away was the digital field trips. And we also offer, part of it is that we will have a staff person in the museum dress up, for example, as a pioneer, and then take you through the exhibits on video camera. So he'll have a camera, and the classroom or a seniors group will be together and watching, and he'll take you through that experience. So that's one of the things that we've done. to kind of reimagine what we can offer during closures and lockdowns and all of the unexpected things that we've been going through.
I was just going to say, we hear of businesses pivoting, but you've actually pivoted how you do your museum outreach in many ways.
We have.
Yeah. It's like a museum without walls.
It is. It's been really interesting. You know what? And I will say, one of the things we've noticed with, for example, the education center is that normally our field trips just reached schools in Grey and Bruce counties. With the digital field trip experience, we've been offering digital field trips about Bruce County to schools in Brampton, to an online school in Toronto. So we've really actually expanded our reach, which is really, really interesting and something that, you know, we would like to continue to build on as we move forward. So imagining that we'll have some sort of hybrid model where absolutely we will offer the in-person field trips again when we can and when it's safe to do so. But wouldn't it be amazing if we continue to have a virtual component and we could educate people further afield about our history in Bruce County? So it's been, you know, there've been these little hidden gems through it all, little added benefits that were never expected. The museum, another area that we really did have to reimagine was the Bruce County Museum and Cultural Center is very well known for its interactive features. So it's a museum that you come to and you touch the exhibits, you walk into the exhibits, you are using a lot of different resources to access the exhibits. It isn't just looking at something and reading. So that obviously is a challenge during the time of COVID when you can't touch things, or you're not supposed to be touching things. So what we did is we've created something. It'll be launched in June. So when we are allowed to reopen, it will be ready for visitors who come. And it's called Cultural Hosts. So we have basically 8 hosts or 8 tour guides, one from each municipality in the county, who will offer you a guided trip. They're all people from history, like Bruce County's first female warden or Howard Krug. So we have, and they'll take you through the different exhibits. And when you come in, if you have a phone or a handheld device, and if you don't, we have iPads available, and we also have free Wi-Fi at the museum. You will scan a logo and it'll open up on a web browser. So you don't have to have a special app or anything like that. And it'll be like a tour. A person from history will come up and welcome you to the museum and then welcome you through each of our different exhibit galleries. And it's a way for us to still offer an interactive experience without having to have a lot of high touch surfaces. So we're really excited about that. It's supposed to be ready for early June, and I know they've just announced that the lockdown is extended. So we will definitely have it ready for when we are allowed to reopen.
What an exciting adventure that would be, that people would be able to appreciate it without the risk, of course, of touching surfaces. We've all learned a lot as we've gone through COVID, for sure, about being cautious.
Yes, absolutely. No, we've learned so much. One thing I will say about visiting the museum is that we are a very large space that lends itself to social distancing because it is such a large space. So, you know, everything we've learned, we do have that on our side. At least we're not a tightly packed little shop or anything with extra challenges. You know, we're hoping, and we're fingers crossed, we're really hoping that we are able to be open again for the summer months. And we are planning a summer exhibit. We always have a summer exhibit, and this year it's called When the Earth Shakes. And it's all about earthquakes and tsunamis and all of the forces that shake up the earth. It's sponsored by OPG. And it was actually supposed to be our summer exhibit last year, but we weren't able to bring it in because we were closed. So we are, it's expected to arrive actually on Monday. And we are really looking forward to bringing it to the public. Kids can come in and they can stand on a platform and jump up and down on it, and it tells them, it measures them on a seismograph machine. It's really neat. We have a local man, a geoscientist, who will be in to offer programming on the floor about the Earth's crust and geology, rocks and seismic surfing, and really interesting stuff. So again, hopeful and planning to be able to be open for the summer, and that will be our summer exhibit when we can open. We also always have a summer art show. So we are planning for a summer art show to open in June, and it's called Inspired by Bruce County, and it's paintings by Gail Slinger and Margot Foster. We're super excited. The work is really beautiful. It'll be in our third floor gallery, and it'll be open from June until September. And again, an art show naturally lends itself to social distancing and no touching. So we're hoping that people can come in and just take part and enjoy being out and enjoy seeing artwork again. And part of it is that there will be a section of the gallery space reserved for people to write what inspires them about Bruce County. So the artists have painted they've been inspired by Bruce County, and that's what their paintings convey. And they would like people who visit the exhibit to also record what inspires them about Bruce County. And we will have that available throughout the exhibit, so people can think about what inspires them as well and what they love about it.
Interactive with the audience as well, with those who are there, which is great. I know from what you're saying, even though your museum is closed to the public, you've been doing a lot of planning and a lot of program development, which is really, really exciting. And I can see and hear the enthusiasm in your voice as we're talking about this. I mean, it's just a matter of opening the doors when it's safe to do so, right?
It is, yeah. We really have been working pretty steadily behind the scenes, getting ready. And I mean, we have reopened twice now. We reopened after last summer, and we stayed open until after Christmas, when we were closed again. And then we did reopen in January, February. We were open in that time in between lockdowns. And we did have visitors. We had people using the archives, which we have limited capacity, reduced capacity. You just have to book a time for your research, and you can come in. We did have visitors to the museum, absolutely, and we offered a lot of digital programs during those times too. For the summer, again, we do have our exhibit and our art show. We are planning our really popular summer Kids Zone day camps. They are sponsored by Bruce Power. We weren't able to run them last year, but we have, again, reimagined what they will look like if we can deliver them in person. Normally, we would have 30 kids in them with waiting lists. This year, we're looking at 12 kids. We've totally redone our kids' room space, so it's bigger, it's brighter, everything is well spaced out. There's hand sanitizer everywhere. And we are hoping that we can have our summer Kids Zone day camps this year. Again, it's like everybody, we're waiting and seeing, but we have planned to have them. And, we're hopeful that we can. What we did last summer, because we couldn't have them, is our programmers came up with this great program called Camp in a Box. And we took all of the different exhibits and developed activities and put them in a really, actually quite a nice box. And then you would link to an instructional video online that explained, our summer students dressed in historical garb would take you aboard the General Hunter and tell you about the history of the General Hunter. And then in your Camp in a Box kit, you would create activities and do the activities in the kit. So we have been doing that again this year while we've been closed, and it's called Museum in a Box. It's actually been very popular. We have a lot of different themes. We have Dino Time, All Hands on Deck. We have one called Crack the Code that's about computer coding, but also includes secret codes from the world wars. So as always, there's a historical element and present day fun activities for kids. So we have that ongoing, and if we can't run our kids camps, we'll definitely, encourage people to try Museum in a Box as well, because they're really fun activities that we have.
I know when I looked online, that really captured my eye. I've got it right here on my page going, oh, that sounds amazing to be able to have that. Now you have some additional things planned, even with July and August. I saw Alien Invaders down there. Can you tell us a little bit more if all goes well and we're able to get back on All Hands on Deck, but then Alien Invaders, Fall for the Fair, and even in December you have a Christmas tree.
Yeah. No, we have, so each month has a theme, just like you were saying, and they're different. So Alien Invaders, you're learning about species throughout history and their natural food web. So there's always an educational component to them, but it's fun. And we try and always include a historical element to it, obviously, because we are a museum. And the boxes are created, or the kits are created and put together. It's curbside pickup. If we're open, you definitely can come in and pick it up. And then once you are home, you open up the kit. It's filled with all sorts of goodies and an instruction booklet that's created new every month, specific to the theme of the month. And also, like I said, with a link. And when you click on the link, you have our programmer going through and demonstrating how to build all of the crafts or do all of the activities, as well as taking you on a little tour through the exhibit. So if it's all hands on deck, onto the General Hunter, for example. They're really fun, and they've been very popular, so we're really happy with them. That's also sponsored by Bruce Power, which is they've been really great. We access that funding through their COVID fund. Something else we're doing for the first time, because we've had to reimagine it, for our summer exhibit, When the Earth Shakes, is we're having a virtual opening. So normally our exhibits, when we open an exhibit, we invite all of our members, we invite our sponsors, we invite dignitaries, we invite everybody comes. There's food, there's drinks, there's activities, and it's like a party. But obviously we can't have that right now. And without knowing if we'll be open or closed and not wanting to limit it to 50 people, to 50 members, we decided to try a virtual opening. And we're right now in the middle of putting that together. We're going to have different people come in and speak, having it professionally filmed. And then when it's released with the opening of the exhibit, everybody will be able to enjoy it and experience the opening, and also hopefully see it and then want to come in and visit the exhibit when we're opened.
Excellent. There's a lot of creative work being done for the programs and this. How does that happen? Do you bring in people, not physically, but does the staff come? Where do your ideas come from?
So a lot of these ideas are staff driven, for sure. We have programming staff and education staff. We have marketing. So they're all of the creative types, and they're thinking of ideas. A lot of it is collaboration with other museums as well, or some of it is, seeing what other museums are doing and talking to them, brainstorming ideas. But and then a lot of it is just, I would say, people have an idea, and the museum is willing to take a chance on those ideas and see if they work or not. So our director, Kathy McGurr, is really receptive to new ideas. She is willing to take a chance on them. And so far, touch wood, so good. A lot of them have been really successful. And the community support and the support from our members has been tremendous. We've had our members renewing during the year when we've been closed, which has been so great for us, that show of support. We've had the community support in people. Over spring break, for example, we had a magic show. We had tons of people tune into our YouTube channel to watch a magic show, and just little things like that really lift your spirit, that say, we are doing work that matters, and we are doing work that people want, that people are craving, that connectedness, even if it is still virtual at this time.
I can't help but think that the parents at home are very grateful for the services that you are providing. So you mentioned Bruce Power and the COVID-19 funding and membership. Does the community donate? Like, how do your other funds? We've got a couple more minutes, so this is your chance to say.
Yeah, absolutely. We do. This has been it's been a challenging year, right? So we can't always just be relying on members to renew their membership while we're closed. We want to do something nice to for our members to say thank you for sticking with us. Absolutely, people can make a donation to the museum. They can, make a general donation. You can do that online as well on brucemuseum.ca. We do have very generous sponsors who've stuck with us during this last year and allowed us to, as everybody, we've had to adjust programs, postpone some, change dates. It's just like everybody's situation. It's very fluid, right? So our sponsors have been amazing, all of them. And we also have a lot of grant and funding opportunities, again, that help us. So we don't have to draw on the community all of the time, knowing that the community is hard pressed right now as well, right? A lot of people are facing difficulties and hardship, and perhaps are out of work, or perhaps their business has been closed for the better part of a year. So we've been working really hard to kind of offer as much as we can to the community and to our members. And, when we reopen, we're ready to welcome everybody back. We have the safety protocols in place. We're following all the rules and regulations as per the province and the health unit. And when we are given the green light to reopen, we're definitely ready.
I think once everyone's has that green light, no one's going to want to stay home. They're just want to be out and just stay out. So,
Yes.
I found this really informative and great to know that the museum is continuing with the programming and lots of exciting things coming forward without a doubt. So I wish you all the best, and I certainly anticipate you'll be a popular place when you start to open. So well done.
So thank you so much. Yes, absolutely. Check out our website, brucemuseum.ca. Everything we talked about is on our website, and a lot more as well. If you're looking for some research opportunities or some guidance, definitely you can access that on our website as well.
Thank you so much. And thank you to our viewing audience for joining us today. Please join us again to learn more about services and programs available to you and to your family. Take care, stay safe, care for each other. Thank you.
Thank you.